Welcome to another episode of the Sparking Entrepreneur Show. On our today's episode, we welcome Michaun Winborn, CEO of Born to Win Coaching, executive coach, keynote speaker, and former VP of Diversity at JP Morgan Chase. She is a leader who helps organizations and executives thrive through inclusive leadership and cultural intelligence. Let's dive in with Michaun. Michaun, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Very excited to have you on. Let's begin with your journey. It started
Sure.
off in Chicago, did it?
It did. So I was born in Chicago. I still think it's the best city in the world.
It is.
Others may disagree, but it is the best.
It is. It is the
Um,
best.
it is the best. So yes, I started there. I was born there. My parents ended up getting a job transfer, and we ended up in Columbus, Ohio, when I was about 7 or 8. And so I've been in Columbus, Ohio for the rest of my life for this point. It's lovely. It's a great city to raise kids in, have a family, really good cost of living. So that's where I am now.
Got it. And tell us about the work that you're doing. Why did you start doing this? And
Yeah.
what's the goal?
Yeah, good question. So I started Born to Win coaching because I believe that all people are born to win, no matter who they are, no matter where they live, no matter how much money they make. Everyone is born to win. They just don't necessarily all have the tools to do so. And I know that through my work at JP Morgan Chase, being in diversity, opportunity, and inclusion, I was a mentor to a good number of people. Five is the average amount of people I would have at a time. And a lot of what we would talk about is how they can navigate their careers properly because a lot of times the infrastructure isn't there. When you are not a senior executive and you aren't looked at in succession planning for a CEO role or a most senior, executive role, the development that you're provided at large companies and even for small companies, and this again, generalization, but sometimes the leadership growth opportunities are not there. And it can be very difficult, especially in a large company like JP Morgan Chase, which is 315,000 employees. It can be really difficult to figure out how to add skills to your resume and still do your job, how to coach up to your manager when you're not getting what you need, how to advocate for yourself when you know that you're not making what your peers are making. And so I was mentoring these people and I still mentor them because I love them, even though I'm not there. And I realized that there's a gap. There's a leadership gap between what the new workforce that's coming in to companies need and what they expect, and what leaders understand that leadership is. There's a gap there. And so I'm trying to help these seasoned leaders learn some soft skills, those human skills that are really going to help them to reach this younger audience that's coming into the workforce so that they can build and upskill those young people into the leaders that we're going to need in the future. So that's why the company was started. It was a lot of words, but
Wow. No, no, no,
yeah.
it's not. And more than words, although the audience cannot see it, but I love the body language. The better,
Thank you.
yeah. So soft skill master you are, that we know. So,
Thank you.
Vishan, let's talk about your clients, right?
Sure.
Senior executives that you spoke of. What are they
Yeah.
struggling with? When do they reach out? How do they reach out?
Good question. So, my target client, which some people find very interesting, being that I am a Black woman. I know you can't see me, but I am a Black woman. Um, my target clients are 40 to 55-year-old white men.
Ooh.
These are the executives that are currently in corporate America that are running things, that are, moving these companies forward. And they're the ones that need the upskilling
Hmm.
to reach the very, very diverse workforce that
Hmm.
they're starting to have to lead.
Hmm.
And again, there's a gap there
Hmm.
um, because it's been decades of mostly white
Hmm.
uh, employees. right? Like you have diverse companies. I'm not saying that even JP Morgan Chase, very diverse.
Mm,
I'm not saying that they're not. But what I am saying is that leadership tends to still be 80 to 90% white men. Again, that's an exaggeration, but that's the target client because what I've found working at JP Morgan Chase, having worked in property management before that, having worked in retail management before that,
mm,
um, that leaders don't really connect
mm,
with younger populations that are coming into the workforce. They don't know what they need. They don't know how they think about the world, how they think about work. A lot of these young people, if they start at a company and they realize, I don't like this culture, they're just going to leave. They're
mm,
not going to work through it.
mm,
My generation, 40 something year old people, we're
mm,
like, okay, we'll stick it out. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll navigate to a different team. Maybe we'll get a mentor or a executive sponsor in another space that can kind of help us like to move and navigate through the company. These young people are like, no,
mm,
absolutely not. I'm leaving. And
mm,
so if we're going to have successful companies moving forward, if we're going to have a behemoth like JP Morgan Chase continue to grow, large companies like Nationwide Insurance and limited brands, all these brands, all these companies, if they're going to be successful moving forward, they're going to have to speak a language that's a little bit different than what they're used to speaking, and they have to be taught that language.
mm,
It's not inherent. It's not something they're just going to know or pick up. It has to be taught to them. And
mm,
I feel like I'm positioned uniquely to kind of bridge that gap. To speak to the other question, I know I've been speaking for a long time already, but to answer the second part of that question, my buyer, quote unquote, the person that generally reaches out to me for my services are HR executives and talent development executives. These are people who see the larger landscape of the company.
mm,
Maybe they're only focused on one part of the company. That's cool. But they can see, okay, here's my CEO. Here's the people on their leadership team.
mm,
I see the workforce that's coming up. I see the gap.
mm,
I see the employee scores
mm,
every year that are slowly going down. I see retention creeping up because these people are leaving and they want to fix that before it becomes a major problem.
mm,
I'm that kind of person that they call. And
mm,
it's not just executive one-on-one coaching, although that is very important and I do that
mm,
work, but it's also doing large workshops,
mm,
facilitating sessions for large groups of the company so that they're able to all get a baseline of knowledge. And then that HR exec can then say, okay, now everybody has a good foundation.
mm,
Let's now target these three executives and give them additional coaching to continue to upskill them.
mm.
So that's kind of how the work works.
Got it. This is how the work works. Wow,
This
what
is how the work works.
a got it. So, Michonne, let's talk about what do you help them with, right? Uh,
Yeah,
so, what are the kind of skills that you see they lack, which you mentioned that they are not able to relate to the younger audience because of
yeah,
like we have literally 3 to 4 decades working, generations working in a workforce today.
absolutely.
So, how and what are we helping them with?
Good question. So, the first thing that I help leaders to do is self-reflect.
Hmm.
A lot of, especially like I said, my target audience, 40 to 55, somewhere in that range. They've gotten where they've gotten because they are very good at their job,
Hmm.
right? They're good at strategy, they're good at understanding the landscape, they're good at getting stakeholder buy-in.
Hmm.
Wonderful.
Hmm.
What a lot of these leaders lack is emotional intelligence and cultural intelligence.
Hmm.
And those are two separate things, but essentially what it is being able to relate to people.
Hmm.
And more specifically, for the culture intelligence part, being able to relate to people or connect with people. Oh no. Sorry, you might have to cut. I don't know if I cut out or not.
Yes, there was a glitch. I realized that. So here's the
Okay. All
here,
right.
just 1 second, Michelle. Mission, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna
Yes.
ask you the question again in a minute, and we're
Okay.
gonna answer it again. Okay, Maimuna, please
Perfect.
make sure that you make a cut here. Maimuna, notes to you. Please make sure that you make a cut here. Okay. Mission, tell us about what do you help your clients with?
Great. So I help my clients specifically, and again, my target client are 40 to 55, right? Somewhere in that range. I'm helping these leaders with emotional intelligence and cultural intelligence. That's the basis of the work that I do. Emotional intelligence is about, being able to read people, being able to understand the nuances of body language, how people's tone, what those things mean, being able to empathize with people. That's one thing. Cultural intelligence is about understanding how to connect with people who don't look like you. It's easy for me to walk into a room of all Black people and immediately find a friend, find a cousin. And when I say cousin, I mean a friend, but someone that I relate to very easily, someone that I'm like, oh yeah, we look alike and or we have a similar vibe. That's easy, right? What can be difficult is when you are in a room of people that don't look like you, which is most of my time in corporate America, right? I've consistently been in rooms of majority white people, and I had to learn how to connect with all of those people, regardless of the fact that we don't look alike. It is a skill, it's something that not everybody knows how to do, and so it has to be taught. Again, you have to learn. So the first thing that I help my clients with is self-reflection because you have to understand where you are so that we know where you're trying to get to. The second thing that I help my clients with is um, learning, what's the word? Navigating difficult relationships. I help them with understanding how to be vulnerable, but in a professional way, basically opening yourself more up or being more emotionally available to your peers, to your colleagues, to your team. I help them understand their data. Part of my job at JP Morgan Chase was data insights and accountability as it relates to diversity, equity, and inclusion. So I know how to look at data and understand what I'm seeing. Not everybody knows how to do that. And a lot of, not, I won't even generalize that. I'll say sometimes I've found that there are leaders who have teams that look at their data for them because that's not their proficiency. But I do want to help leaders to get a little bit more proficient in their data analytics so that they can get a report of just the numbers, do a pivot table, and understand, okay, we're losing our Hispanic talent at a higher rate than our Black talent, or we are promoting our Indian talent at a higher rate than our white talent. Why is this? Like, let's figure this out so that we can make things more equitable. I help leaders do that too. So there's a little bit of data analysis in there too, because data gives you a really good baseline on what's happening. But then all of the other work that I do helps to tack on what the story is behind those numbers. So you get a more holistic approach and can actually make strategies that work.
Got it. And is it the companies that work with you? Is it the individuals or is it the uh,
It's both.
uh
It's both. So a company can contract with me to come in and do 3 sessions
hmm,
with 250 of their associates over a 6 month period, right? I might come in and do a session. A month later, I come in and do another. A month later, I come in and do another. That helps the entire group. But then I might get reached out by one of the executives that happened to be in the room.
hmm,
Hey, I saw you do coaching too. Can I contract with you to do one-on-one coaching that my company's going to pay for? Or I personally know that I just need
hmm,
executive coaching in this area that you focus on. I
hmm.
would like to contract with you personally for that. So it's both.
Understood. Understood. Okay, let's talk about a client success story now. The one that you love. Tell us about it.
The clients that I love. Right now, I am working with a nonprofit to build a new program for them. And I'm not going to mention it because we haven't officially signed a contract yet. But um, they are working on building a new program that to serve the community, right? And it is a 7-week program. They want an hour and a half session each week that I would facilitate. I would bring in guests if needed. There's workshops, not workshops, there's exercises throughout each session. There's homework, there's a graduation at the end. So it's a whole huge program that I'm helping them to build. And I'm really excited about that because first off, it's a more um, it's not as targeted as my sessions for my corporate clients would be. And what I mean is they are looking at the whole person.
Mm.
So it is a session that's going to help these individuals. Hopefully, we hit our first cohort will be around 20 or 30 people, but it's helping each person to think about their brand, think about how they exhibit that brand, like their appearance, think about their communication skills and upskill them there, think about how they develop relationships at work, how they show their vulnerability at work, how they ally at work. It'll also talk about, I'm trying to think through all the different sessions. It'll also empower them on how to speak up and advocate for themselves in the workplace. Like I mentioned earlier, coaching their managers on how to be better managers for them and for others, advocating for their peers and getting mentors for themselves, getting understanding what an executive sponsor is and what that role is, and advocating for yourself to find that person for you at work. So it's a really, really great program, and I'm really excited. I just actually sent materials over to them yesterday, and I'm hoping that we get everything finalized in the next week because that first cohort should start in October if all goes well. So that's one of my favorite clients right now, just because they're my current client. They're the favorite.
Yeah, nice. Mishad, very, very
Yes.
nice to meet you today. Very good to
Ooh.
speak with you. May I know some of the ways of reaching out to you because audience wants to reach out now.
Of course, of course. So you can always go to my website. It is https colon backslash backslash born to win, and the two is the number two dot co. So not dot com, dot co.
Mm.
Um, so there is the website. You can always fill out the contact form, or you can click on um, discovery session, and that will take you directly to my Calendly so you can schedule time to chat further and figure out what your needs are. You can do that. You can also text. I have a business text, so you can use the number 614. It's the United States, 1614 407 5454. And then, of course, I'm on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has been a huge platform for me, so please connect with me directly on LinkedIn. It's just my name, Michaun Winborn. And my business also has a LinkedIn page, which is Born to Win Coaching. So please connect with me on all platforms. I have a new YouTube page, which is also born to win coaching. So there's a lot going on, but please connect with me. I would love to even just have you in my network. But if something work comes out of that, I'm happy for that as well.
Do reach out to Mishon, and the ways of reaching out to her are mentioned in the description as well. Mishon, final question.
Yes.
What are some of your favorite books? What led you here?
Ooh, my favorite books. Okay, so I have one behind me. Again, people can't see it, but it's called Cast. It's by Isabel Wilkerson. It's just brilliant. It actually talks about the caste system in India and
Mhm.
the slavery, the race system that was built in America through slavery and how they're very similar. It is fascinating, and it's one of my favorite books. I probably reread that
Mm,
maybe every 15 months or so. I've read it like twice now. I'm about to reread it again.
mm,
But when it comes to nonfiction, or not nonfiction, when it comes to fiction. I actually right now am rereading a series I read in middle school, which I know is kind of crazy. But it's by Piers Anthony, who's a famous author, and I'm rereading his Xanth series. Again, I know it's really random and crazy, but I really love fiction and I love like fantasy fiction. And so I'm rereading that series, which is like 48 books now. When I started reading, it was only 10 books. Now it's up to 48. So we're gonna see how long I go through this series, but that's what's on the reading list right now.
Nice, nice. And what is the one entrepreneurial book that you would recommend to
Mm,
everyone listening?
entrepreneurial book. You know what? Outgrow Your Space at Work by Rick Whitted is a really, really good book that will help you to think. It kind of expands your mind space to
Mhm.
think a little bit more about, okay, where you are, how you can grow in that team, in
Mhm.
that work that you're currently doing, but how to think strategically about where you're going to go next. It's a very, very good book. I consider it a quick read, but it's very good. It's called Outgrow Your Space at Work. And the other I would recommend The First 90 Days. The
Mhm.
First 90 Days, and that one is by Michael Watkins. Um, if you are becoming an entrepreneur, if you are moving to a new company, if you are moving to a completely new team within your current company, this book will help you to strategically plot out what you need to do in the first 90 days in order to have the best chance at success. So I think both of those books are really, really good for entrepreneurs or those who just work at a company and are just looking to upskill themselves or to think more strategically.
Now you know it, guys. Michonne has recommended the books. Michonne has mentioned the ways of reaching out. And as you already know, she is a wonderful person to speak with. So do book
Thanks.
and have a wonderful time with her. Michonne, it was a pleasure to meet you today and an honor to host you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. With that being said, I am your host, Kirnagar, signing off for the day. You guys take care. Bye, guys. Wow. So, Mission, awesome, awesome episode. I loved the energy and I learned something about the body language today. So, thank you so much
Yes.
for that. Here's what is going to happen now. The podcast is going to air in like 3 weeks. So, give us three
Okay.
time to process and release.
Okay.
Once it is out and on air, we're going to reach out to you via email, provide you with the link, provide you with the ready to go artwork, and then you're all set to spread the word.
Perfect.
A few things we may need from your end is your professional headshot, links
Yep.
that you mentioned, phone number that you mentioned, if you want that mentioned in the description too. And
Yep.
once you have the headshot links and the phone number, we'll start processing the podcast, and within 3 weeks, you'll have the podcast that we just recorded.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Wonderful. One question. You started a YouTube channel, did you?
I did. And this is the I literally just started 2 days ago because I'm like, I do these videos once a week and post them on LinkedIn, and they're between 45 and 65 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want them to be quick for people. I don't want people to, skip them. I'm like, they're short. Just watch it. It's short, I promise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so I just started, I was like, why don't I just put these on YouTube too? So I literally just made the announcement this morning that I started a YouTube page. So I'm glad I remembered it today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited about it because I'm like, it's quick leadership tips that you can use. There's coaching questions in each of them. So hopefully they're helpful to people. But yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what about Instagram? Why aren't you posting them on Instagram as well?
I do post them on Instagram. I'm just starting to kind of take a mini step back from Instagram. I do consistently still post twice a week,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not really pushing on there that much because my audience is not there. The leaders that I'm trying to reach are not connecting with me on Instagram the way that they connect with me on LinkedIn. So I'm like, I'm not going to spend my time making posts on Instagram, but I do still post them on Instagram as reels.
So let me can I give you a quick intro of us as Sparkji Media apart from the
Sure.
Spark Entrepreneur Show? So
Yeah, yeah.
quick wrap before we get things off. Based on what you have shared, I thought you would find it useful. I don't bring it up often. So we are all about, because Subrat is himself an influencer. We, along with the podcast, we also are a thought leadership agency where we
Okay.
help people build thought leadership. And when I say thought leadership, it does not mean getting followers on one platform. It's about being a recognizable media personality everywhere you go, right?
Yeah,
It's someone with authority, influence, and a strong media presence across multiple channels. Most of the coaches that we work with are doing incredible work, but are just don't have enough time or system to turn that expertise into content engine or a content visibility like that. That's consistent, right?
yeah,
That's one of the biggest problems that we're trying to solve here, and one of the
yeah,
biggest reasons we started here to build a personal brand that attracts opportunities while you sleep. Opportunities like paid partnerships, speaking gigs, being featured on big platforms, attracting
yeah,
customers, attracting big companies, organizations, you name it. And it's all coming to you just because on internet people see you one way, right?
yeah.
So, although we don't talk about it all the time to everyone, but whenever somebody is interested in content creation and is thinking about it, we think that there is an alignment. I just bring it up. So, if you
Yeah.
do it and if you're looking for something of this sort and want to explore what is the exact system that works, then I'd be open to like have a quick conversation, and we can discuss like what exactly you can tweak or do in order to get it right. Right, like, the thing is,
Okay.
content creation, it is like in 1990s there was this antenna which you have to just get it right, and then the whole
Yes.
was pours in. uh,
Yes.
that kind of thing, we have figured it out. So if you're open to it and if you're actively seeking help, we can plan on a conversation, or if not, the no is also an option. So
No, you know what? It is very interesting, and I'm sure that I probably need something like that, but funds, money right now is very limited. So I will definitely keep you in mind for the future because I know it's something that I'm gonna need. I'm gonna need more strategy around lining things up, like you said, in order to get the incoming streams of income that I know I could have. But right now, I probably can't, well, not I probably, I cannot, especially with being laid off. Like there's no money coming in.
maybe there is a possibility that you are thinking in US rates and I'm thinking in Indian rates. One US dollar is 80 rupees. Yeah.
That's a
So
good point.
yeah, don't
Okay,
US dollars, think in Indian rupees.
okay,
I won't say
okay.
much. Look, let me solve the problem, and the way that I will solve it, it will solve the money problem as well. The funds will
I
come
got you.
automatically,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
figured out the system itself. So how about
yeah,
and on this conversation? It is on you. I'll not force you on the conversation itself. I'm not going to try any sales pitches there. I'm just going to
yeah,
this conversation. I'll try to help wherever I can. If you find it relevant and if you think that this much money I have spare and this much I'm ready to invest in marketing, only this much I
yeah.
have, right? Even if it is this much, I'm okay, right?
Okay.
But if I think that there is alignment and I can fix this much of the problem with this much of problem with this much money, I'll do it, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
not worry about the money. Don't worry about
Okay,
money. Just
okay.
plan. So would you be open?
Yeah, let's schedule a time to chat about it.
Sure,
Because I can't now because I do have another meeting that's coming up at 12 and I want to make sure I'm prepared for that.
sure.
But let's schedule a time.
Give me a time that works for you best.
Let me skip to next week. Hold on. Actually, Monday. When do you have available on Monday? Because as of right now, I don't have anything that
Okay.
I couldn't move.
Let me see Calendly. Just 1 second.
Okay.
Uh, this it's okay. The time zone you are in is
Um, uh, 11 a.m. Eastern time. I
Your
have that
your time zone is Eastern.
Eastern.
Eastern, right? I
Yes,
can do 9. I can do 8 a.m., 8:30, 9, and 12.
12.
12 p.m.
I'm taking my kids to school that early, so 12 is perfect.
12 p.m. on
12 p.m.
on
on
Mon-
Monday the 15th.
Monday the just 1 second. I'm in
Yep,
Monday.
you're good.
Oh shit. I'm
No,
completely booked on Monday the 15th. Can we do 16 by any chance? 8 a.m. No.
I
So
can't do that early because I'm taking my kids to school.
10:30 a.m.
The earliest I can do is 10 a.m.
10:30 a.m. also
Any day
works.
of the week.
10:30
10:30.
10:30 works. On
Cool.
17th the September 10:30 a.m.
On the 17th?
Yes.
Okay, yes, that's fine.
Okay. Let's book about 45 minutes that day. I'll send
Okay.
you the invite, and you
Okay,
have everything you need. Just by
cool.
that time, before that time, if possible, please send me the headshot and the links.
I will.
Start the processing of the podcast and get back to you
Yep,
on time. Yeah,
will do.
Ishan,
Thank
you'll
you.
be amazed. You'll be amazed. You joined the meeting on 10th on 19th of September. I'll show you a few things that you'd love. So take care.
Cool. Thanks, Karen. Have a good one.